Debbie Ecola, and we're going to be performing about a 30-minute workout called core intervals. I've specifically designed this class to work the core musculature. For the first 30 seconds, we're going to be performing an exercise that requires stability of the core, spine, of course, pelvis, and scapula. The second 30 seconds will consist of challenging this position by adding lever length, movement, speed, etc. Feel free to take breaks as needed, and I will show modifications for all exercises. Let's begin. Okay, we're going to start off with a classic exercise. We're going to be in our hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Make sure the belly is lifted. This is called quadruped. Curling your toes underneath, and you're going to lift up your knees to a little hover. Shoulders are down, neck is long. Now we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. As you inhale, expand the ribs, and then as you exhale, draw the belly into the back of the spine, keeping everything stable. You are a quadruped statue. If you have any wrist issues, you can welcome to do this on your elbow. It's easily modified. I'll show that. Okay, the hips might be a little higher, but that's okay. This is still quite challenging, and it takes the element out of the wrist. Keep the elbows soft. And now we're going to add our little movement here. So we're going to pulse the knees up and down 2 to 3 inches. Nothing else moves in the scapula, the spine, and the pelvis. And this is quite challenging. Challenges your upper body, your core. Some of you are going to really feel this in the quadriceps as well. Again, steady breathing. Shoulders are down away from the ears, neck is long. Now hold it. Slowly lower. Shins down to the floor, and we'll go into our first child's pose rest. It's a great exercise to start off with, a great warm-up. And again, our rest periods are going to be about 15 seconds. Good. All right, let's move on. So elbows underneath the shoulders. And we're going to go in, here's your modification, either into partial plank, which is on the knees, or you can curl your toes underneath. Lift up the legs. Again, elbows under the shoulders. Your legs can be a little bit wider. Eyes should be looking roughly about at your thumbs. Maintaining this nice long position here. Ear in line with the shoulder, in line with the hip, in line with the knee and the ankle. Again, we hold this position, but we don't hold our breath. So as it gets a little challenging, take a break by lowering to the knee position. And again, always feel free to take breaks as needed. Try not to let the head drop. The back sags, so make sure the belly is lifted. Belly up, hips down. And we want to make sure we're not down here either. So just make sure you've got a good alignment. All right, our movement. We're going to lower the one knee and then the other, alternating this, keeping the pelvis very stable. Inhale as you lower, exhale, come up. Or reverse that breath. Exhale, lower, inhale, come up. Wherever you feel the challenge is where you want to add that exhale. If you feel any tension in the back at all, reposition. Or here's your modification. Okay. Starting the down position and alternating a single leg lift. It's getting challenging. Make sure you incorporate that breath always. Driving the belly up to the back of the spine. 2 more. Hold. Lower the knees. Walk your hands back for another restful child's pose. Fill those lungs. Feel the release in the abdominals. Elongating the spine. If this is bad on the knees, just pop those hips up slightly. That really helps. All right, we're going to continue on that same challenge here, but we're going to make it just a wee harder. Okay, so back onto the elbows, curl your toes underneath, lift up and hold, and we're doing the same thing. We're going to be holding our plank. And again, about 30 seconds. Feel that in the low back. Tuck the tail under slightly. Also tighten up the glutes. Squeeze them together. Steady breath. Also spreading the fingertips can help stability, widening the legs. Okay, our next challenge, we're going to be doing, instead of a single leg, it'll be 2 legs. So both knees slightly bend, don't slam them to the ground, just to hover and lift. Scapula strong and stable, neck long. Inhale, lower, exhale, up. Or exhale, lower, inhale, up. Exhale on that challenge. Again, taking breaks as needed. Glutes are tight. 4 more. 2 more. Hold it up. Bend the knees and bring it all the way back. Now I know a lot of you are feeling it in your shoulders, the lats, the scapula, stabilizing that upper body, and it is quite challenging. So let's open up the chest for a little moment here. You can be on your heels, or if you have sensitive knees, reach behind, roll those shoulders down. Good. All right, we're going to continue that challenge, and now we're going to go to what I like to call a high plank. So that's a full plank on the hands. Again, if you have sensitive wrists, go ahead and go back to the elbow position. Good. All right, let's lift up. You're welcome to be on the knees or toes, and we're holding this. So this is going to require a lot more upper body work, so feel free to modify. Again, looking, just roughly down at your mat. You don't let the head drop, and we don't want to look forward. Make sure you're not hyperextending the elbows. Glutes are tight to help you. All right, we're going to add our movement now. So we're going to do a little what we call sawing, or rocking slightly forward, slightly back. So this is all through the ankle and the shoulder. This is quite challenging. Now this can be done on the knees without the rock. Okay, so you can just hold a partial plank position. Drive that belly up to the spine. Notice where you feel this. Try to work through the muscle space in the upper arm so you're not hyperextending. Hold, bend the knees, and take another break. All right, this time, while we're taking our break, we're going to open up our arms to the side, drop a shoulder just to release any tension in the shoulders. Same thing, other side. Good. All right, let's go to a seated position. This one's going to be a little different. We're going to anchor our feet, hold gently behind the knees to start. Ear, shoulder, hip all in one line, looking directly forward. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to curve the spine, and we're going to hold this position. Okay, rolling the shoulders down and back. And for those who'd like a little challenge, you can let go. Rolling those shoulders down. So you're just rolled off the sits bone. The belly drives back and deep. In Pilates, we call this a C curve. So I just want that nice curve through the spine. As you exhale, again, you feel the belly go in. This is too hard. Come up or grab gently back behind the knees. And repositioning those shoulders. They like to hike up. One more full breath. And we're going to add some arms to this. So our spine maintains this flexed position. Inhale. As you exhale, lift up one arm. The higher, the harder, so be aware of that. And then lower. And again, you can replace your hand behind the thigh if you like. Exhale as that arm goes up. Full breath out each time. Okay, we're going to add on. You can continue with the single or go single, single. Now watch, both arms come up. Both two arms weigh double, so it's going to be a little harder. And then alternate your lead. Single, single, double. 2 more times. Roll those shoulders down. They tend to hug. Belly goes in. This is the last one. Both arms hold. Inhale. Exhale, curve the spine as you slowly restack. Good. Rolling your shoulders back and down and taking a nice little break with a butterfly stretch. One more full breath. Just let it all go. And slowly peel up. All right, we're going to add on to that nice little challenge here. Sit up tall. We're going to curve off of our sits bones again. This time we're going to add rotation, okay? So you're going to take the right arm and rotate. Eyes follow the fingers and bring it back in. Alternate the lead so our spine is stable in this C-curve position. Try to take the rotation through the neck as well, so that's that subtle little rotation. So we have flexion and rotation. And we have that nice static C-curve reflection. The lower you go, the harder it is. Coming up a little higher makes it a little easier. All right, offering up another variation, and that's to bring both arms up or hang on. You get to choose that. Anybody feels this in their low back a little bit, come up a little more. You're still in that C curve, eyes maybe toward the thighs. Now hold center, take it down just a little farther and just rotate both arms, not too far. Now I'm going to show a little challenge. If you bend the elbows, it adds weight to the length of our lever here, and you can feel it getting quite challenging. Alternating the rotation. Eyes follow the elbow. Anchoring the feet. One more to each side. Hold center, reach the arms, gently guide, and slowly peel up. Whew. Good challenge there. All right, let's go ahead and take it all the way down. If you have a towel or a small pillow, you might want to use it. Okay. If your head is really comfortable in a neutral position where you have your chin and forehead on the same plane, you're going to be just great here. All right, rolling your shoulders down and back. Let's take a little bit of a break before we move on. If you'd like to, you can stretch the arms out, lengthen the legs. Just take a nice few deep breaths here. All right, so we're going to start off relatively easy. You're going to lift up one leg and then the other, and this is what we call tabletop. Knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee. So it's like you're serving tea right on your shins, toes pointed or flexed. And just holding this position is quite challenging. If you find yourself with a chin up position, you just grab your little pillow or towel, supporting your head where your ear and your shoulders are relatively in alignment. Again, if you feel your low back at all, you could be in this anterior tilt. So here's another variation, putting your hands just gently underneath just to give it a little bit of support. But try to hold this in that nice neutral space. So you have a little tiny pocket of air, maybe the size of a grape. Don't squish the grape. Okay? All right, this is going to get challenging more for the lower core, and then we'll add some upper body in a little bit. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to lower one leg. Don't go too far. Feel that challenge in that lower abdominal, keeping the pelvis very stable. Exhale down. Alternating this pattern. Wide across the chest, long through the neck. Make sure you're incorporating that breath. I emphasize breath a lot because as you exhale, you want to brace through the core. And that's going to help find those deeper layers, that transverse abdominis, pelvic floor. For those of you who are feeling heavy in the hip flexor, you can do a little external rotation, so knees slightly turned out. That really helps a lot. All right, we're going to do one more and then pick up the pace just for a little extra challenge. Steady breath. Don't go quick. So it's a steady breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Notice what your pelvis is doing. Where do you feel this? Ask yourself. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Hold it up. Tuck the knees in and rock side to side. And we're going to develop and add on to that exercise. It'll be a progression. So it's going to get a little more challenging. I'm going to be inviting you to lift up your head, neck, and shoulders. And the next one. Good. Okay, here comes the invitation. Place your legs back into tabletop. One hand and then the other. Watch your elbow position, not too far back and certainly not too far forward. So just enough, so say a few inches off, you should see your elbows in your peripheral vision. Tucking the chin gently, very gently, about a fist, and curling up into, again, a chest lift, also known as a curl up. All right, we're going to start with the same thing because this is a bit of a challenge. So you're going to lower one leg, alternate, exhale as the leg lowers. Take your breath in. Exhale, lower. See if you can bring that head, neck, and shoulder up. Think of bringing the rib toward the hip, belly to the back of the spine. Okay, we're going to continue this, and I'm going to add another layer. You can extend higher for an easier variation or out no more than about a 45. If you feel this in your low back at all, please punch those legs up higher toward the ceiling. Feel that extra resistance as that leg lowers. Now, I know a lot of you will want to go really fast because that's what we're used to doing. The slower you go, the better this is. The harder your core is working to stabilize as we mobilize through the hips. Another little fun variation for those of you feeling extra in the hip flexors. As you lengthen out, do a little external rotation. So you're turning that kneecap out to the side. Should help fire or rid of those hip flexors from firing so much. See if you can lift up the head, neck, and shoulders a little higher without yanking on the neck. Last one. Bend the knees back to tabletop. Slowly peel down. Arms to the floor here, a little wider than your mat. Lower the legs, about the width of the mat. We'll start easy. And we're going to do a little nice, relaxing spine twist. Opening the knees to one side and then looking in the opposite direction. Another variation here, you can make your arms into like a goalpost position, and that's going to really open up the chest. If you feel that in your back, put your arms back where they were before. Think of length through the spine as you press that upper hip forward. Eyes looking in the opposite direction of the leg, continuing that spiral twist. Same thing other side, take it nice and easy. Lengthen and rotate. Give you a little extra rest today. Pressing that upper hip forward if you really want to get into more of the hip flexor and a little deeper twist through the low back. You should feel no pain when you're doing abdominal work in your back. Okay. Let's come back to center and let's kind of add on to that situation. Tucking the chin, Slowly peeling up the head, neck, and shoulders. Hands go behind. I'm going to show two variations. One, the legs are on the floor, and another one, they're in the air, back into that tabletop. We're going to do some rotation. It's nice and slow here. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. If you're down, let's make sure we come up and hold that. You're going to lift up one shoulder. If it's the left, you're going to bring it toward the right hip. Come back to center. Peel all the way down. So we're nice and stable in our lower half. There's no wobbling. There's no movement. And rotate. Center and down. Again, if you're down here, it looks like this. The legs can be wide. They can be narrow. It's all the same. And again, the tendency on this exercise is that we go too quick. And you wonder why you have to do so many to feel it. So the slower the better. Now let's stay up in this flexed position and rotate. So it's just a little extra challenge. You guys ready to add that leg drop? As you bring it to one side, lower the opposite. Come back to center and opposition. Think of bringing the rib to its opposite hip. Keeping the elbows in that peripheral vision space. And you don't have to tap the floor. It could be half range. It's about pelvic stability here as we do our rotation. Spinal flexion with rotation. Again, a lot of you are going to want to go quicker, so do your best to avoid that. Now we're going to hold it to one side, reach the opposite arm, and we're going to do little pulses here. Lift, lift. 8 more. 6, 4, 3. Leg can be on the ground if you need. Good. Same thing, other side. 8, 6, can be on the floor. 4, 2, and 1. Bring it back to center, back to tabletop. Come up a little higher and bring it all the way down. Good job, everybody. I know you felt that in those, of course, the full length of the abdominals, a lot of lower obliques, and that transverse abdominis. Really open up. Go ahead into a slight extension. I want you to imagine your arms and legs and full body is in like a tug-of-war rope. And your belly button is the red flag. Close the ribs now. All right, let's go ahead and roll over to our sides and have a little side plank fun. Okay, elbow is under the shoulder. And you're going to have your knees in the middle of your mat and the elbow also in the middle of the mat. You're going to swing your heels behind you. Lift up the rib cage so we have a nice straight line. Include your head, okay? Hand can be on the floor for now. You're going to lift your hip up. As you lift it up, you're going to press the hip forward and notice that nice straight line. Hand can be here, here, here. I'm not a fan of arm up because some people roll back. So this is my favorite position. If this is too easy for you, let's lift up that upper leg for a little ultra challenge. I know we could do full side planks, but we're not going to because we're going to have some fun here. Steady breath, belly goes up and into the spine, shoulders are down, and you can see my shoulders are square, the hips are square. Again, don't roll back and certainly don't wobble around. This is all about challenging yourself with your stabilizers. Scapula, spine, and pelvis. All right, we're going to do a little lateral flexion. So we're going to lower the hips slightly and come up. Lower, lift. See if you can keep that leg up in space. If not, it comes down. Hand can be on the floor just to help guide you a little bit. Just make sure your hips aren't back. That's important as you have a nice straight line. Lower lift. And you might be noticing our intervals getting a wee longer, a little more challenging. And But this is your workout. Do what you can. Take breaks as needed. All right, this one, hold. Now we're going to lower lift just the leg. So the leg is moving, adding that movement challenge, mobility of the hips, stability of the spine and pelvis. Scapula is working hard. I can feel it. Hold. Take a big breath in. And lower down. Take a little break. Go ahead and allow that rib cage to reach toward the mat. If the shoulder glides up, that's okay. Getting that nice stretch through the lat as well. Good. Make sure you're breathing through your stretches. Feel that space wherever you need to. If you're feeling tight upper body, breathe through that area. Core, breathe through that area. All right, same thing other side. Make sure the elbow is underneath the shoulder, knees stacked. Swing the hips back, push the hip forward. So knee, if I had a straight line running the long way down my mat here, they'd just be right on top, okay? Hands wherever you like, just like prior, head neutral, inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna lift the hip up and then forward to put it all in alignment. Sometimes we go too high, sometimes we're not high enough. So find that nice space where you feel you have a straight line, armpit, hip, through the knee. Notice where you feel this. Again, I do like my hand here. It just gives my head just a little something to, I don't want to say press against, but just to know it's in neutral. This way it's just not dropping down. Good. Shoulder is down. Make sure the hips are forward. Even a little tiny tuck of the tail is helpful. Glutes can be tight here too. They're going to help you out. All right, we're going to add that lateral extension to flexion up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Use that breath. Belly goes in. And if you feel like you've gotten a little out of alignment for some reason, reposition. Notice what you feel. If you feel in the upper trap area, that means the shoulder's elevated. It means the lat's not doing its job. You feel your low back. A lot of times the abdominals, they kind of let go and you're going into that anterior tuck. So just notice what you feel. I feel I'm underneath here and then those obliques. A little in the outer hip as well. But, you know, we've got this leg. This leg can come up. That adds to the challenge. Up or down, you choose. Certainly can have a straight leg. There's another challenge for those of you who might be a little stronger and want a little harder variation. Always got to find a way to make things more challenging so you see change in your body. Or if it's too much, how do you subtract? How do you make it a little easier for you? Hold it up and let's do a leg lift, straight or bent. Strong through the core. And that breath. Down. I'm feeling this. 4, 3, 2, hold, and lower down. Good. Let's take that rest again. Get that nice release. Listen to your body. It's talking. We just have to listen. Okay, we're going to go to prone. Means face down, and we're going to go all the way down. We're going to do a little prone exercises. So forget your core musculature is not just in the front and sides, in the back too. So it's this whole area here, glutes, abdominal, side, back. Rolling your shoulders down and back. Let's start easy, okay? Legs are planted, let's keep them there. Belly is lifted. It's not off the mat, but you just feel it engage. And slightly press your pubic bone into the mat, and this upper hip bone, the ASIS, is slightly elevated. Shoulders are down. As you exhale, you're going to look slightly forward to the top of your mat, or maybe about a foot in front of your face. Trying not to use your upper body to push. When you're at the top of your extension, you should feel your rib cage off the mat. The hip bones themselves are on. So we don't want to do this. Don't straighten the arms. If that's a little, you want a little more challenging, but not too much for the upper body, the arms can go wide. Some of you are more flexible than I am, and you're welcome to do that. All right, let's challenge ourselves now. Go into a hover, our neutral space. Inhale to prepare. I call these W arms, so everything is nice and parallel, elbows in a W shape. Exhale, come up. Try not to allow that belly to press into the mat. It drives up to the spine as you exhale. All right, we're going to intermix some stability here. So hold it up, lengthen the arms to the side, bend, and come on down. Exhale, come up. Lengthen the arms perfectly out to the side like a full T. Bend the elbows and bring it down. Exhale up. Bend. Now if you need a little stability, the legs can be about the corners of your mat. Think of lengthening before you go into your extension. And try to extend through the upper back, that thoracic spine. Now hold this one up. We're going to do a little rotation. Pelvis is stable, rotating side to side. Now a little variation, you can bring one hand to the floor as you rotate, gives you a little more stability, or maintaining that hover position. And it's subtle rotation, it's very subtle. Eyes looking right at those fingertips. One more. Hold center, bend the elbows, hands to the floor, slide them back, belly is lifted, push yourself up. All right, let's do a little cat-cow, everybody's favorite. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. I see a lot of people do this, so make sure they're in line. Belly is lifted, neck is long. Let's start neutral, nice flat back. Inhale, elongate the spine. As you exhale, curve the spine, tilt the tailbone toward your nose, nose toward the tailbone. Focus on making that low and mid back the height, not the upper back. And then inhale, pass through center, and go into subtle extension here, allowing the belly to release, extending or flexing through your extensors, and work both directions. Belly goes up. Inhale, pass through center. Looking forward, gnaw up. We don't want any compression in the cervical spine. One more time, this just feels really great. All right, which brings us to our next exercise. Belly is lifted. This is called bird dog. It's a classic, but it's a great exercise. So let's go ahead and bring our knees together on this one. You're going to lengthen the leg. Okay, pick a leg, doesn't matter if it's your right. Then you're going to lift up the opposite arm. Okay, and hold that position. The hips are square, eyes looking directly down, so we don't let that head drop. Try to balance. If this is too hard, lower the arm, or maybe lower the leg. So you get to choose this. I like to have my thumb up. It helps relieve any shoulder tension. Make sure the supporting arm is slightly bent so it's not locked. It's not bent though either. And of course we're breathing. Always breathe. Shoulders square, neck long. Relax through that upper body. All right, we're going to add movement. The spine is stable. We're going to lower the arm and the leg simultaneously and lift up to where it was before. So we don't want to go high here. So we want to go up where it was, parallel with the ground, and lower. Lift, lower. If that is too hard, again, leg only, or maybe the arm only, or maybe alternate. Last two, everyone. Hold it up. Now just open to the side 4 times. Legs slightly, arms slightly. 2 more. harder. On the balance and core, hold, take your break. Great job. Nice child's pose. If you'd like to do more of a wide stance just for something different, go ahead. So knees open about the width of the mat or whatever's comfortable for your body. Let the forehead rest and the armpits melt toward the mat. All right, we got two sides, so come on up. Hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Slightly bring your feet or your knees a little bit more close. Let's go on the other side. Lengthen the opposite leg. Square off the hips before you lift up the arm. You might find yourself wobbling or tumbling, a little, shaking. So again, point of our class is core stability. And do what you can. There's your modifications. As you get stronger, you'll be able to challenge yourself with more challenging variations. Long arm, long leg, shoulder dropped. And the head gets heavy, so try to lift it up. Belly is lifted, hips are square. All right, let's add that movement. Do the first repetition slowly. Remember, it's the quality of the repetitions, not how many or the quantity. Foot flexed or pointed, your choice. Eyes looking down without the head dropping. Elbow is soft. Last two. Hold it up, hold, open, and close. Now the arm can go wider, the leg only about a 45, because the key here is pelvic and spine stability, scapula as well, so we don't want to shrug. Make sure you breathe through your exercises. Exercises get tough, we tend to hold our breath. Hold and bring it down. Good. Might have done a few extra on that, but that's okay. Another child's pose. And let's open up the knees on this one because I really want your spine to go really straight as best as you can. If you have sensitive knees, just pop up a little bit. You don't want to sit on those heels for loaded flexion. Open up your scapula wide. Armpits press into the mat. Get a little extra stretch. This is if you have good flexible shoulders. You can bring your elbows more bent like you're going to touch your back. And then press those armpits. Get a little tricep stretch. All right, release the arms. Slide your hands back. Push yourself up. Back to our original position, quadruped. Curl your toes underneath. Roll your shoulders down and back. Lift up to a down dog. Not everybody's comfortable in down dog, so if you'd like to, you can bend the knees. One at a time. If you're okay with this, you have the flexibility that allows it. What you want to do is heels go low. They don't have to touch. Tail goes high and armpits towards your knees. Bring your chest through the shoulders. Make sure the elbows are soft and the head is centered between the arms. Now let's all pedal out. Bending one knee and then the other. Think of foot articulation as well, not just ankle. So working a little ankle mobility, foot mobility. Try to keep the pelvis as stable as possible. Shoulders are down. Think of pressing away from the mat. All right, now both heels come high. Press back a little deeper. Heels go low. Now bend the knees generously. Walk your hands towards your knees or thighs or toes, or the reverse, toes toward the hands. And allow your chest to rest on the thighs, grabbing both elbows in opposition. And think of decompressing the spine here. let it go. Heavy head, neck, and shoulders. You can do a little sway if you'd like. Release the arms. Turn your head slowly, knowing yes. Those who are more flexible, you can extend a little more. It's up to you. A little yes. And this is very slow. All right, bend the knees nice and gentle. Slowly, as you take your breath in, exhale, drive the belly up to the back of the spine. I'm probably going to come out of the camera range. It's okay. As we restack our spine, take a big stretch up and exhale. One more time. Look up at a nice diagonal, a few shoulder rolls back. I'm going to come back down just to say I hope I can see you again another time for another session of core intervals. Great job today, everyone.